there's a big problem with Idubbbz and YouTube because YouTube isn't growing as a platform. Although the revenue coming in, amount of content creators are growing, they're treating their content creators they disagree with really badly, and that area is growing. The amount of content creators they demonetize and censor and ban is growing because they feel anybody who doesn't politically agree with them should be pushed to the side or down even, censored, banned, demonetized. And because they're the biggest video hosting platform on the internet today, and I'm sure for years to come, they can pretty much do whatever they want. It's not like there's a lot of competition. YouTube has a lot of sway over its creators. It's either obey us or go to BitChute, which isn't quite big enough at the moment to be considered a financial option. Idubbbz has never criticized YouTube in any of his videos. He has a couple of channels, and I've seen enough to where he hasn't criticized them. And I really doubt he will, because financially, he's in a very good spot. YouTube considers him an ally, so they give him pretty much favorable treatment promoting his channel. But Idubbbz needs to be critical of YouTube, otherwise YouTube is only going to get worse to the creators they feel aren't politically aligned with them. Idubbbz 100% should do a video on YouTube, the good and the bad. He doesn't have to make a content cop on him, although I wish he would. He needs to at least show that YouTube isn't perfect and they can improve on their website. There's always room for improvement. Humans are naturally flawed, and there can always be healthy criticism. He doesn't have to be mean to YouTube like he does in Content Copper, his Kickstarter crap videos, although it seems like he's made quite the healthy living off of it. Worst case scenario, he just opens up a Patreon because he doesn't get favorable ads anymore. I think that price is well worth it. Years in the future, it will be beneficial to both Idubbbz and YouTube. Idubbbz can get away with breaking the YouTube terms of service because under the YouTube guidelines, there is a segment on harassment and cyberbullying. It's not okay to post abusive videos and comments on YouTube. If harassment continues the line into a malicious attack, it can be reported and may be removed. In other cases, users may be mildly annoying or petty and should be ignored. So, with that being said, Idubbbz has talked about this quite directly in a video where he was he did a content cop on Leafy, and he says a stance on bullying that I think should be looked at.
Straight off the bat, I want to let all the newcomers to my channel know that I'm perfectly fine with bullying. Make fun of someone because they're fat, autistic, or riddled with acne. I don't care. Make fun of them.
So Idubbbz clearly breaks the terms of service, because it also says when you click on it and get more detailed, deliberately posting content in order to humiliate someone. It seems to me that's what he was doing to Leafy, and frankly, humiliating someone doesn't seem that bad on YouTube. It gets views, it kind of creates drama, both creators get more subscribers because of it. I don't think you should be demonetized or banned on YouTube just because you humiliate someone. I mean, obviously you shouldn't post naked pictures of them online, but doing a content cop on Leafy like Idubbbz did shouldn't be deleted, but it does go against the guidelines, so there's a contradiction there. Either YouTube needs to enforce their guidelines or change their guidelines to something more reasonable. I vote they choose it to something more reasonable, but at the same time they enforce them on smaller content creators because YouTube doesn't have any incentive to protect these people because they don't make YouTube money, but they also make their platform look bad, quote unquote, because they break the terms of service. But bigger content creators like Idubbbz can get away with it because they make money for YouTube. PewDiePie gets demonetized all the time. He just goes to 4chan once. YouTube deems him not an ally politically, so then they demonetize him. Idubbbz is considered a ally to YouTube politically, so they monetize all its videos, and he gets premium ads, and it's unfair that YouTube has this bias. Just because you agree with YouTube politically or don't should have zero correlation to how your channel is sponsored or advertised on YouTube. But clearly, YouTube has a bias. So if you agree with them politically, they'll give you great ads, they'll promote your videos, and if you don't, they'll do the opposite or even worse. Demonetize, ban, censor, really bad ads. PewDiePie has been critical to YouTube. He has shown that content creators get the short end of the stick, that even if you have a 2-second clip and a 10-minute video, all the money goes to someone else. Why not whatever percent of the video that wasn't yours goes to them? So if it's 2 seconds out of 10 minutes, that's like 0.01%. That's how much money should go to the other person, not 100% of the proceeds. It's ridiculous. They don't own all of Felix's content just because they put 2% into the video. It's ridiculous. It is incredibly in favor of corporations and ad companies, and the content creators are just lucky if they get money. YouTube has a higher value to Idubbbz right now than PewDiePie. PewDiePie has more subscribers and a bigger fan base than Idubbbz, but he gets crappy ads, he gets demonetized all the time because he doesn't agree with YouTube 100% of the time. Where Idubbbz agreed enough with YouTube to where they think Idubbbz is a ally, and then he just doesn't criticize them. So to YouTube, it seems like 100% an ally, which I'm sure in Idubbbz's head, he doesn't think the same, but he doesn't want to say any of that because he doesn't want to be demonetized. But the more creators say that there's a problem out there, the more chances that YouTube will either change or that another company will grow and overtake YouTube. And either at this point are welcome and in the future will probably need to happen. Otherwise, YouTube will fail as a video platform. If PewDiePie is having problems getting his content monetized, then it would be very difficult for small YouTubers to get monetized. Idubbbz should definitely do a content cop or a Kickstarter crap version for YouTube. YouTube's position would definitely change. They probably wouldn't give him premium ads, but he could go on Patreon and get probably more money than he's already getting from YouTube. I don't know his financial situation. I'm sure he's more than well off. But although he might be earning less through Patreon, criticizing YouTube would help everybody on the platform, because that would put YouTube in a position that would show that they need to change for the positive. They need to treat their employees, the content creators, better than they currently are. They are very picky and very biased toward their content creators, so it puts the content creators in a very difficult position. So it's either go along with YouTube politically and get favorable ads and revenue and get your channel more recognized, or you can be critical and either agree or disagree on political ideology, depending on the ideology, if it's correct or not, and that puts you in a position where YouTube doesn't favor you correctly. So if you make a living on YouTube, you're more inclined to be biased with YouTube, even if it's not 100% correct, and that is extremely unfair for the content creators. You should not put someone financially in risk if you don't agree with them politically. It's almost like blackmailing them. In fact, I would go too far as just call it blackmail. It's either you get better revenue, you get better ads if you agree with us politically, or you don't get favorable ads, you get censored, your channel doesn't grow as much because you disagree with us. And that is an unfair position for YouTube to put their content creators, especially because YouTube has such a monopoly on the video hosting website nature. There's a very long second place away from YouTube, which is sad, but other platforms are growing, such as BitChute, Gab, Minds. I strongly suggest all YouTube creators make a second account, make even more. Any platform you think will do good in the future. YouTube is definitely heading downhill because they censor and ban their creators pretty much for political reasons. So, and that's only going to get more and more exaggerated as time goes on, because YouTube, they feel like they have such a monopoly on creators, so the creators pretty much have to bend to their whim. But it's gonna do the opposite effect. Every time they ban or censor a creator because they don't agree with YouTube's policies or political views, they're just gonna go to BitChute or some other different platform, and that's gonna grow the other platform in turn. Just cause and effect. Idubbbz is in a very good position to critically analyze YouTube. His whole career is based on pretty much criticizing other people, businesses on Kickstarter, and the Content Cop series he's had more recently with other creators on the website, and now he needs to take that a step further and criticize the website. If he doesn't do it, he's just financially motivated. I'm sure he's noticed the adpocalypse. I really doubt he hasn't heard about it, but currently there's no incentive for him to do it. Financially, it's better for him just to go along with the status quo, stay family friendly as YouTube sees him, even though he breaks the community guidelines, which I would say isn't family friendly, although I don't particularly care much for them. I don't think family friendly means correct. The war in Syria isn't family friendly, but it should still be reported on. You made it to the end of the video. I have a couple things to say before we part ways. Feel free to edit my videos any way you want. Preferably link them back to the original video. If you can afford it, I'm on Patreon. Check out my Twitter, Instagram, and other channels. My grandma helped finance the Canon 80D I'm using, and all other equipment I used will be linked in the description, along with all other relevant links. Have hope that the future will be brighter.